All right, guys. Copper Cutlass here. It's Wednesday. I know I usually don't get out here on weekdays, as I mentioned before, but I haven't been staying late at work, and instead of sitting on the couch, I'm going to chip at it. So I coated the inside of these. Now I got to coat the outside. But I use that platinum coating from Eastwood. Really nice. I coated the areas where we welded that were bare metal. It's all nice and dry. I coated the stuff Monday night. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the frame, wipe it all down, and then scuff it. And then we're going to blast it with a little undercoating just to get a nice new finish. You don't see a lot of this, but I kind of want to clean it up since I'm already down here. May as well. So what I'm going to be using is, I got two things. I'm going to be using this to clean off all the dust that's like stuck on there. It's not like you can't really wipe it off. And then I'm going to scuff it to get it ready for the undercoating. And then I'm going to use my prep ball after we blow it off and get all the dust off of it. So that's normally how you would do something like this. I got a gallon. You can get this stuff at like O'Reilly's for like 20 bucks. Goes a long way. I tried this. I didn't really like it, so I use this for shitty areas like, you know, the frame. This is usually what I would use on like panels, you know, like any paintwork or anything. After you're done blowing everything off and you get rid of your dust, you wipe it down with this. You use something that's lint free. Usually you use what are the shop towels that are like lint free. For this occasion, I'm going to use microfibers. Somebody out there is cringing, but these are cheap at Harbor Freight. Every time I go, I pick up a bag because these end up being grease rags, and they're like lint free, so they're kind of nice to have in the shop versus the red rags that are over there by the heater. So guys, I'm going to have at it, and I'm going to clean it, and we're going to see how it goes. All right, guys, I've been out here for an hour. I haven't done anything, but I cleaned. I swept, put the welder back. There's no more shrapnel all over the floor. I organized my little workbench. I'm about to put the car cover on the old so we don't get any overspray because undercoating likes to fly. So just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys do stuff like this, clean up, man. I love a good clean workspace, and it had been getting messy. So now I can crawl around, drag my rug wherever I go, and we're going to start scuffing, cleaning, and going at it, but just figure I'd share that. I like cleaning. All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass. My wife ain't out here tonight because she's tired. She had a rough day. I kind of had a rough week as well, but it ain't going to stop us from coming out here. As you can see, I coated the frame, and it looks awesome. That's just, I coated the bare areas with that silver platinum down to metal or rust encapsulator from Eastwood. And then I went ahead and I coated it with undercoating, and man, it's nice and smooth. It's nice and clean. It looks good. I scuffed it. I prepped it. I did make videos while I did all this during the week. I just didn't get a chance to edit them all together, so I'm going to put them in with this video. But this is going to be obviously our opener, if you will. So today, what I'm going to be doing out here is, well, first, I'm going to get this transmission cable out of the way. I just put that up out of the way. I started cleaning the frame while I was doing the other stuff. As you could tell, I got a lot of the grease off the ball joint. I did actually a pretty good job of cleaning it quickly. It still needs to get a nice scuff. But the frame is just going to get a nice little touch-up of spray paint. We're going to use a nice Duplicolor semi-gloss that I've used over the years. I like it. I used it on the firewall of the olds. I wish I could show you, but I got it covered up so we don't get overspray on it. I'm going to pull the chains off. I'm going to pull the wiper motor off. The brake booster is going to stay on because I can't get inside the car to unbolt it. But we're going to move some of this stuff out of the way and start cleaning up the firewall and start scuffing it down and getting it ready. We're going to mask off the cowl panel, the cowl side here. Then we're going to tape off the windshield. I'm going to do it the old school ghetto way with a newspaper. not a newspaper, but newspaper. And so, yeah, you know, I got some ground straps here that I used, the negative cable here, ground cable. I got to move some of this crap out of the way here. So I'm going to start on that now. And hopefully tomorrow I'll go out, run and get some paint. I kind of got a busy morning. I have to go into work, which is no big deal. I'm always prepared to work on Saturdays. But I'm going to go in and I got a couple things to button up, take care of. Cars are getting picked up. And so I'm going to come out here tomorrow and paint all this. And again, it's just going to get a spray bomb job. And the reason for that is, you know what, like Pops painted it with like high gloss Centauri, and it gets dirty and it really shows its age really fast. And with a semi-gloss or even like a satin, it's not easier to clean, but it's easier to maintain. It doesn't show stuff as much. And the best part about it is if you need to touch it up, well, you can go buy the same spray paint at the store and just quickly touch it up and you're done. So guys, we're going to get at it. We're going to scuff it. And then chances are this is going to be our only Friday video. I mentioned in the other video our parts are growing. Actually, I got more parts in today. I got my speedometer kit and I got my guide plates from PRW, which are a little cheaper than the Comp Cams ones, and they're just guide plates, so you may as well save a little money. You're not going to hurt those. So yeah, our parts are racking up. So yeah, I'm going to get at it. I'll check in with you guys once we got some progress here. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of technicalness to this. It's just clean, scuff, tape, you know, clean. And if you've used spray paint, then you know how this is all done. So, see you guys. All right, guys. The frame's coated. So you can see it's nice, deep black undercoating. Obviously, if this was like a typical frame off resto where everything had to be perfect, a lot of some of our approaches wouldn't work. But since this is going to be just a nice driver / car that we're going to take to the track every now and again, this stuff's going to work out good. Like, you know, obviously we made our patches in the frame, you know, on a stock frame. If you're going for like a perfect resto, that's not cool. But in the racing world, boxing, bracing, stuff like this, adding gussets is totally normal. Our patches up on the body mounts, typically, that's something that you would probably want to butt weld. But for me, I'm cool with the topical patch. I know that you can get some squish out of the bushings to adjust the height if need be. But this turned out really good. I'm really happy. From here, the frame, I started cleaning the front. You can see I got a lot of the grease off the ball joints that were on there. All this stuff was replaced years ago by my dad. So this stuff is still pretty new. I started cleaning it up, and man, it actually cleaned up really nice. You know, the cross member there. I was going to spray it with a gun, but considering the fact that I don't have a lot of surface area, we're going to do a really nice clean prep, and we're going to go buy some really good aerosol cans. There's a Duplicolor semi-gloss I really like that I've used for a lot of things in the past that I'm going to use for this. And obviously I cleaned up the, you know, like the drag link, stuff like that. It cleaned up really good. I didn't clean this side too much, but I did go over it. So I just kind of gave this a quick cleanup. But from the bend forward, so from there to here, we're just going to coat it with something thinner, not undercoating, so it looks a little bit more pleasing to the eyes when you open up the hood. The firewall, I'm sure is going to look great once I clean it up, but as you can see, we got some chips, we got some marks, you got some hammer marks there where I had to make the headers clear. And I got to remove a couple things. I got a ground wire here, another ground wire there, stuff like that. So hopefully this weekend everything will be coated up, and then we can drop the body down. The last week of the month was I can't talk, which was our goal. So I think we're on point and we're good. Our bench with parts is growing. My heater is running out. But I picked up a fuel pump since we're going to be going back to a carburetor. I got a nice Carter muscle car series. Oh, look at them douchebag on there. Like, oh, fucking, this is an electric fuel pump. That's actually what I thought too. It just comes in a very generic box. I got one with a return line. Go back into the tank. I am going to modify the sending unit that we have so that we get more ventilation, which I actually learned that working on my friend's 69 Impala, a lot of people have problems with spitback at the nozzle on modern pumps. They're really touchy to pressure. We're going to go ahead and do a lot of that same stuff to our tank. I got a gasket kit, which I opened up just to confirm. I picked up some rocker arm studs. I'm waiting on my guide plates. I bought a new transpan. I know I just sold one. I didn't think I was going to need it. And I didn't think I was going to need it. I wanted to buy an aluminum one, but the aluminum ones had gone up in price. So stock stamped steel one, it is. So our parts are growing. And hopefully once the body's down, the first thing we're going to attack is the diff. Because I have to be able to roll the car out to throw the engine on the running stand, which I'm going to show you guys how I set that all up. And obviously with the new rocker arms, we're going to have to change push rods. This engine is going to get a nice cleanup. It's going to get a nice paint job. I'm going to clean up the valve covers, paint them. These are actually 3/8 taller than stock. I don't even know if these are available on eBay anymore, but they're really cool. I'm going to kind of fill in these dents that I made to clearance the AC bracket. But yeah, we're going to have most of our components there. I'm going to end up using the timing chain that I took off this engine. Still pretty good. It was pretty tight when I removed it, so we're going to check it out and see how it fits on our small block. Between the small block and the big block, same timing chain, but I want to see how loose it is and how it degrees in. So we're going to do all that fun stuff. And then I bought a speedometer rebuild kit for the trans and the matching gears for the gear ratio, because it bugged my wife that I didn't have a working speedometer. And all new external seals because it had a couple of leaks, mainly the speedometer housing. Hopefully that's all good. So it looks like we are on par, and March is going to be a kick-ass month as we're already accumulating parts. So I think for March we're going to hit the ground running. Obviously I got control arms coming in too. Those might need work. I haven't crawled underneath the cars to get measurements from point to point, how much more we're going to need. The upper ones, I think there's going to be enough adjustment there to collapse them or extend them to get the proper pinion angle. But the lowers, we might have to extend. We're going to have to sleeve, weld, and box the already boxed control arms. But the nice part about it is that all the parts are there. The bushings, the hymens, everything. I don't have to look places and get all that part, piece it all together. No, I bought a kit and we're going to modify it. Much easier that way. So guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow, share. If you're on Instagram, Copper Cutlass, Facebook, Copper Cutlass. So they're actually on Facebook, it's Copper's Garage. On YouTube, it's Copper Cutlass if you're watching this. So obviously we got a bunch of parts up here still from like the engine. You got alternator up to all that shit. But it's looking good. I do have to do the filler work to our AC delete panel, which I have to start doing. But since we're going to rattle can it, that can get done when we have time, because I kind of want to move some stuff out before I start doing filler work in here. It gets fucking dusty in here. I've done body work in here before. I kind of hate it. It's nice to be able to do it at home, but fuck is it dusty. And you guys can see down there by the pattern what I mean by the undercoating gets everywhere. I don't mind. It's my garage. I'll clean it up later. So guys, see ya. Alright guys, we went full fucking send, and I just decided I actually, I had the paint I wanted. The frame, I wanted in like a gloss black for the front half, because it originally was painted with DuPont Centauri, which is like super thick. I think next to Imron, Centauri would be the next best choice for a durable coat, which I don't even know if Exalta, who took over DuPont, even makes it anymore. But touched it up with some Rust-Oleum gloss black. It should quiet down in the shine department once it fully cures. It's still kind of wet. Let's see. Yeah, it's still a little tacky. But it turned out pretty good. It's pretty much... I remember when my dad painted this frame. This is exactly what it looked like. The firewall's still drying. You could see I did it in a semi-gloss, satiny black. It's still drying. You get some really shiny spots. But like over here is what it would look like. So we just did spray bomb. You know, I scuffed it, cleaned it. Same shit I did on the frame. And, there's no shame in the game. It already had good paint there. I just needed a touch up. There's no need to buy quarts of shit. Simple spray bomb will work and last if you do it right. No, it's not for the concourse restorer, but for the backyard builder, for our use, this is absolutely perfect and budget friendly. And if you do it right, it turns out good. Again, there was a good finish there. I scuffed it, cleaned it, degreased it, prepped it, did all that shit. And this is pretty much dry. It'll tone down a little bit, but I blew everything off, got all the dust out, and masked off my window. Since I used spray paint, you could see where my overspray was. It's minimal. If you buy the spray cans with the fan pattern, you really don't need to go overboard on masking unless you're that anal. But for me, I really don't care. This car eventually will get the body work done to it. But for now, we're going to focus on the things I had mentioned in the other videos. We're just mechanicals and whatnot. And so once this is done, tomorrow I'm going to go buy brake line and I'm going to run my new brake lines. And pretty much after that, we're ready to drop the body down. But you know what? We need a little R&R. So I think I'm going to take it easy on Sunday and just have a nice, chill day. Or so I say. But either way, that's the game plan. And then next weekend, we're going to drop the body down. And we're going to button it down, tighten it down. And from there, we move on to the differential. So by the time we start on the differential, it should be March. Which is, today is the 21st. So chances are it'll be like the first weekend of March. We'll probably be doing the diff. I should have my control arms by then. I think I'm going to take the rear end out as soon as we drop the body down and I can get it on jack stands, just so that I can get the control arms off, measure my center to center, and I'll show you guys what we're going to do there. So guys, this is pretty much a wrap up for tonight. I'm going to go ahead, get this video edited and whatnot and get it up, and then tomorrow I'll do my brake lines. I got to go buy the copper alloy I'm going to use for the brake lines, and then we're going to go ahead and bend everything up, make it real nice, put new stuff on there, go to from the proportioning valve back. And I actually, Napa should have the rubber hoses I need, or the rubber hose I need from the back tray to the differential for the brake lines, because you need to have flexible line there. I know the fronts are good. The fronts, my dad did a really nice job. I painted over them, but these brake lines all the brake lines on this car are new, except for the rubber line at the diff. My dad didn't know how to find that. When I did the brakes and everything on the front, I bought new hoses. But on the rear, the rubber hose is original. It's a little scary. It's cracked, but I'm replacing that. But all the metal lines are new, but I want to clean it up. We got this nice new, and that copper alloy in its bare form is going to stick out really nice and look sharp. So guys, I'm going to sign off. As you can see, the firewall's actually drying off real nice, and it's starting to get that nice little satiny finish, how it should be. And I wanted the frame gloss. The fender wells are gloss as well. So it should look nice, right, and tidy in here once we're all done. And that's what I want. I want to take care of these details before we go on to the body. I know when I do body work, it becomes a mess, but you know what? I don't, if something's going to be shitty, I want something else to look nice. So guys, this is my wrap up. Share, like, subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Copper Cutlass. Follow us on Facebook at Copper's Garage. Smash that like button. Subscribe. And also on Instagram as Copper Cutlass. So we'll see you guys.